7:39 in the morning, you're with Britain's Newsroom on GB News with Emily Carver, that's me, and Tom Harwood.
That's me. But let's get stuck into our next story now, straight away. The Education Secretary, we had her on a little bit earlier on the programme. Well, Gillian Keegan has announced that students looking to work in the UK's growing space sector will be able to gain degree-level industry qualifications without suffering tuition fees.
Yes, that sounds very interesting indeed. So who have we got to speak to?
Well, we are going to speak to someone who is an expert in all things space, someone who's gone through astronaut training, no less. Per Wimmer joins us now. Per, thank you for being on the show. I think a lot of people will think of space as something that is American, Russian or Chinese. Or, as we're seeing in the papers today, actually, the Indians are going to sending a rover to the moon as well. Does Britain have a role in space?
Absolutely. Britain has a big role to play, and I would like Britain to have an even bigger role. So therefore, I think today's announcement is absolutely fantastic. Not only is it the right thing to do, because it's technology, it's the future of the economy, space also has an enormous power to inspire young kids to do the right things, to get excited about engineering. And that is our future livelihood for the next generation. So it is super important. And if you look at the numbers, the size of the global space market is about $190 billion. Wow. It's enormous. The UK only picks up about 8% of that today. We got to increase that. And the global space market over the next 10 years is going to double to about 400 billion. So we got to seize that opportunity, and for that you need people, and you need educated people. So that's why we got to be ready.
Now, Per, for those listening on the radio, you are dressed in what looks like training gear.
Yes, absolutely. This is my flight suit, which I use when I do my weightlessness training, meaning when you go into a specially built airplane.
A vomit comet.
A vomit comet, as they call it, absolutely. Where you fly up to about 16 kilometers, and then you nosedive down for 30, 40 seconds at a time, become weightless, because you are accelerating at the acceleration of gravity on the way down. So 30, 40 seconds, you get to float and feel like you're in space. So it's great training.
How many times have you done that?
I've done it many times. I've done it on the Airbus in France. I've done it on the 727 in the US, and I've done Ilyushin 76 in Russia. So I've tried the different models of it. So I've done it a great number of times. And it's equally fun each time.
Well, there you go. Now, I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a child. I thought it looked quite fun. Is that the only job going? What other jobs are going when it comes to space? Oh,
there's a whole... I mean, for the astronaut, just to go up into space, I mean, there's a forest of people beneath that.
What kind of things?
Everything from engineering, from people who do all the paperwork, quite frankly, to you need biologists. You need people who can actually do the things up there once you're up there. Geologists, if you go to the moon. Hopefully, we're going to go back to the moon soon. You need people with all sorts of technical and scientific skills to make this thing happen. It's not just about the rockets. It's not just about the astronauts. There's a lot of scientific education that goes on behind it.
Now, people might remember there was a bit of a failed launch down in the southwest of England not that long ago, where, was it Virgin Galactic was trying to... or Virgin Orbit?
Virgin Orbit,
yeah,
which is different company, yeah.
Was trying to get a small satellite up into space. But we've got 6 or 7 spaceports in the United Kingdom now. Is the biggest opportunity about these small satellites that will help with sort of telephone communication and internet access and all the rest of it?
100%. The satellite business is actually a huge business and very growing business. So putting stuff up there is a great business, and it's bigger than putting people up there, quite frankly.
Cheaper as well.
And it's cheaper as well. And they don't complain.
Space expert,
I
Tom.
love space, honestly. Every SpaceX launch, I'm there. I'm watching the countdown. I absolutely adore it all.
I do really like watching those takeoffs, the 10-987, and then seeing if they make it.
The Starship takeoff that happened very recently, especially when it blew up. That's sometimes the most, as long as no one's aboard.
We do like to see that sometimes, don't we?
Yeah, well,
very odd.
Thank you so much for coming in and talking about all things space. It's totally fascinating, and really appreciate your time this morning.
See you up there.
See you up there.
Right, well, should we go back to some of our inbox?
Perhaps we should ask...